When we started Brick Meets Click 5 years ago, you could already see that the internet was impacting grocery shopping. People were checking the website for specials and sharing some of their experience on social media. Since that time, online shopping has evolved and grown, but the in-store experience has not kept pace. Our goal in this presentation today is to help speed up the change in-store experience by providing a vision of the food store of the future and identifying 3 ways in which that food store needs to change to make it more indispensable to customers. At the cornerstone of the food store of the future is striking a new balance between the importance of food and grocery. There's little doubt that food has become more important to most people in our society, and unfortunately, grocery has become less important. Stores need to begin to put more emphasis on selling the food their customers are looking for and less on selling groceries. All this begins with a recognition, however, of the fact that shopping is now a blend of online and in-store experience. 9 out of 10 customers check the internet before they shop, and that number is even stronger among Prime members, as you can see in the top line. This means that the in-store experience needs to be not only introduced, but motivated by online activities. Caught between the competition of online retailers and more aggressive discounters, it's necessary for the food store of the future to do 3 things differently than in the past. Generate more profit, find a way to complement the online shopping of customers, and demonstrate that they care to those customers. These are the 3 areas where the store needs to change: productivity, personalization, and engagement. And it's easy enough to say, but they're not necessarily that easy to do, because quite frankly, they have to be done all at the same time. Doing just 1 or 2 will not be enough. What's driving these changes? The interrelationship between 3 factors. Shoppers are changing and beginning to realize that there are things now available to them through digital and the internet that they would never have even imagined before. For example, getting groceries delivered in less than 2 hours when they're willing to pay. There's also the emergence of what we're calling the discount retail environment, where price is becoming more important, partly as a result of the hard discounters like Aldi and Lidl, and also because of other very successful discounters like Winco. Faced with this situation, retailers have 3 choices. Lead, that is, begin to shape the market. Follow, that is, to be a quick follower, copying some of the ideas that are working, or simply getting out of the way and hoping to be drafted later to play an important role in this space. What you'll hear today is how food stores need to evolve, where those changes can happen, and then finally what capabilities you'll need to successfully execute in this environment. Now let's step back and take a look at the store of the future and examine each of the 3 areas of opportunity. First, the idea of being more productive. This simply involves generating greater output for unit of input. So that would be more sales per square foot or more hour of labor. It's a very familiar retail term. Why is this important to become more productive? It's really the result of increased competition coming from all sides, from the discount side and the online side, that's driving down margins and making it more difficult to generate the necessary level of profits. There are a number of opportunities, fortunately, to attack the productivity issue and improve it. That includes more emphasis on localizing the assortment so that the inventory in the store meets the demands of each individual store. That's a proven way to increase productivity. There's also an opportunity to reduce labor without negatively impacting the shopping experience. And a lot of that has to do with setting the right expectations with customers. Setting a smaller store footprint is also a way to improve productivity so that the break-even levels of the stores are reduced. And then lastly, there's the greater importance of using data to help reduce costs. I think probably the best established area for that today is in replenishment. In this environment of driving for higher productivity, there's a top priority on sales performance. There's an opportunity to reset shelves more frequently when it's justified in order to keep up with demand and maintain sales. There's also the opportunity to look for ways to reduce and modify assortment to increase inventory turns. And all this is with the goal of reducing working capital, the idea of selling more product before you have to pay for it. And that's not in terms of adjusting payment terms, that's in terms of accelerating sales. Big opportunities in this area involve two exciting possibilities. One is the day part planning. Day part's a concept that comes from the restaurant and convenience store business, but it also is proving to be a way to adjust scheduling to how customers shop individual stores. The other is product bundling. We know that there are literally thousands of situations where products sell together and we are not yet merchandising against these opportunities. Both of these represent significant opportunities to increase productivity. Second area is encouraging customers to be more engaged with the store, and that means encouraging them to visit more frequently, and when they come, to spend more when they're there. This ideally takes the form of encouraging customers to occasionally browse the store, even though that doesn't sound like a food term, to see what's available. Why is this necessary? Well, unfortunately, traffic or footfall is down, online mobile spending is up, and there's a need to stand out more vividly in a world where there are just many more retail choices. Where are the areas to make change? Probably the biggest area of opportunity improving the shopping experience when it comes to specific trip missions or shopping occasions. I was in a store last week, and the store had a beautiful array of grab-and-go food and eating opportunities. It was hard to make a choice of what to actually buy. But what was even harder was checking out, because the entire checkout process for the grab-and-go food was a bottleneck. And so there was an opportunity in that store to improve the experience for that grab-and-go trip mission, and similar opportunities exist for other trip missions as well. A couple of big opportunities as it relates to increasing engagement. One of them involves lighting the product. LED turns out to be one of the new technologies that's made a difference, and certainly has resulted in increased sales as it attracts more attention and holds people's attention a little bit longer. And then you've got the day part and week part merchandising opportunities, thinking again about different trip missions, and in each of those day part or week part circumstances, giving shoppers more of what they're looking for. For example, there's a week part tendency to shop in certain ways earlier in the week versus later in the week. Third and finally, personalization. This is where the retailer gets credit for recognizing who the shopper is and the fact that they are probably looking for something different, and the customer can see and appreciate that. Why is this important? Because the communications that's more personalized is more relevant, and it's a lot harder for the customers to turn off. Where do you make changes like this? Clearly, the easiest way to do this, or the most direct way to do this, is to promote two-way exchanges. Part of this involves feedback from the customer and being open and encouraging to that information, and then ideally it shifts into a form of dialogue where there's a give and take, and the retailer is actually able to become more knowledgeable about what customers are doing. In terms of the big opportunity in personalization, it involves helping customers learn more about what's happening in the store, the changes, the digital tools that are available and other services, and understanding and appreciating the benefits. In work we've done in the past, we've seen a 5-fold increase in customer utilization of new offers when enough time is spent orienting them to the new possibilities and the new advantages of what are going on in the store. So stepping back, what are the 3 things that you'll need to successfully move into the changes associated with the store of the future? First, you'll need to take probably a little more aggressive approach to adopting new technology, and to adopt those new technologies with an eye to accomplishing one of the 3 objectives that we talked about before: productivity, engagement, and personalization. Secondly, there's a need to implement changes more quickly. One of the things that I believe has held back food retailing in the past is that we haven't decided quickly enough about what changes make sense and then acted accordingly. And then thirdly, the capability to evaluate the change. Did it do what it was expected to do? Can you implement, test, and learn? Tying this all together, there are really 3 high points to establishing the store of the future. The first is setting the vision and getting that new balance with greater emphasis on food and less emphasis on grocery. Secondly, lay out the steps, and there'll be multiple steps necessary to implement that vision. And thirdly, move quickly to take that first step in moving towards the vision. That step might involve initiating something new in the food area, or it might be as mechanical as just being sure that there's power in different areas of the store that didn't exist before. We hope that this presentation has been helpful to you and invite you to send your questions and comments. We'd also ask you to let us know if you'd just like to talk further about some of these ideas. We'd be more than happy to do that at no obligation. Thanks very much and have a great day.